I think one of the biggest fears that a lot of us have is to start something before we think we're absolutely ready, before we have all the information that we can possibly gather or all the evidence that what we're going to pursue or start is going to become successful. But the problem with this is you can never acquire, all the information that's going to prove to you that what you're going to start will pan out, or the evidence that is going to show you that going in this direction or that direction is going to bring you a certain outcome. And many people may look at that fact and think, well, then what's the point of even starting? But for me, it makes me incredibly excited because I don't want to know everything that's going to come out of every decision that I make. If I knew everything that was going to come out of every single decision I made, life wouldn't be exciting. The accomplishments I have would just be expected. I wouldn't be surprised or enthralled when something comes my way that I didn't know was going to come out of what I started. So let go of that fear that you need to know exactly what's going to happen if you start pursuing what it is you actually want to pursue, what your heart calls you to do. Let go of the fear of needing to have all this evidence that it's going to work out before you've actually even begun. Alan Watts used to say something, or did say something, that really impacted me, and he was talking, I think, in the context of business, and would say people would come to these decisions, 2 weeks after they were presented the question or which direction they need to move in. And what would happen is their intuition would tell them immediately what they felt was right to do or the direction they need to go in. And then after 2 weeks of trying to gather all the evidence and all the information and deciding what they should do, they would in the end always land back at that original intuitive thought and go in that direction. By not starting, you're just delaying what you're inevitably probably going to do at least at some point, or you're never going to do. And not starting is going to mean you're going to miss out on so much that could come out of whatever it is you start, whether it's a passion, whether it's you want to travel, whether it's you want to start a YouTube channel. I don't know what it is for you, but you are missing out on so much that you can't even think of that will come out of you just taking that first step of starting whatever it is you want to start. So take the leap, whatever it is, big or small, that you truly want to do, and you know what it is. You know what you are being pulled towards at this very moment. You know what your heart wants you to do, your intuition wants you to do. For me, for example, it was starting a YouTube channel about something I love. Called Simply Soccer. It was about making sure I set up my life in a way where I can travel, which I'm going to be doing this year, and I've already started taking steps to ensure that I actually do that this year. And I wake up every single day these days passionate, in love with what I'm doing, moving in a direction that I know I've chosen, not something I had to think about and look at all the evidence for and all this other crap. Something I knew just felt right, that expanded my body, something I was pulled towards, something I knew that when I wake up, I can be excited and happy and looking forward to the day because I'm moving in that direction I want to be moving in. And that can happen for you if you just take that decision to start. One of the things I learned from Kyle Cease being in one of his courses is you don't always know what's going to come out of your decisions. You don't know what comes attached to starting, to leaping. And the problem is we're so used to wanting to know what comes attached with this decision, or if we go down that road or that path. And the fact of the matter is you don't always want to know what comes attached. Let's say you do something and you get incremental gains from it. That's great and you know what comes attached. But what if you do something else and you just kind of trust that this is exactly what you need to be doing because it's what you want to be doing? What comes attached to that? What are the implications of that? What are the ripples that go out into the world because of that? What domino effect will ensue from that point? What will happen once you start moving in that direction you truly want to move in? Whatever it is you want to start doing or you've been putting off, what will happen when you start moving in that direction? And the answer is you don't know. However, it can be so wonderful, so much larger than you could ever envision. And the thing is, when you start, you're going to learn as you go. We're so, I think, consumed with this idea that we need to know everything before we set out on our journey. But when I go to travel, I'm not going to know a lot of things about the place I'm traveling to or about the culture or anything, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it spontaneous. When you jump into something you're not too familiar with, I mean, your whole world opens up. You get to learn all these new things. You get to make mistakes that then it's going to help you grow as a person. You get to grow in other ways as an individual. You get exponential growth because you're going to be learning things that you didn't know you were going to be learning, instead of trying to control absolutely everything. I personally have only leapt a few times in my life because I've only learned about this within the last couple of years, actually the last year. But every single time I have leapt, and I'm in the process of doing it now, amazing things have happened in my life, things I would not have seen. Every time I have moved in the direction that my heart is calling me to move into, every time I started doing those things I put off for whatever fear-based restrictions I was putting on myself, which were illusions anyway, anytime I would do something like that, amazing things would come into my life. Even when certain things would lead to failure, that failure was necessary for me to grow and move on to better things. If you're afraid to start because you're afraid of failure, just remember, you either succeed or you learn. And that has become a very real thing for me recently when I've had things that have just not done well. But I've learned from them, which have helped me make the next one better. I've been able to forgive myself, and I have that reference point to make it more likely that I won't do it again. Don't look at failure or mistakes as this negative thing, and when you start seeing them as just learning experiences and reference points, you will stop fearing failure so much, and you actually begin to start those things that you actually want to start. So I implore you, I ask you, I encourage you to start whatever that thing is you've been putting off. I don't know what it is for you, but you're thinking about it right now. Whatever it is, take some kind of action today towards it. Don't go in having to know everything about it or having to know all of the evidence for why it's going to work or why it's not. Just take a leap. Make the start, learn as you go, and I promise you that you're going to experience things that you didn't think you would experience, or you're going to learn things that you would not have foresaw before making that leap. Guys, thank you for watching this video. This is an idea really close to my heart, something that I was a little scared to share because I know it's not mainstream kind of information or the mainstream belief, but it's something that I think can be so impactful in your life. So if you like ideas like this and videos like this, I will definitely make some more on ideas that I think are really important and can definitely impact your life in a positive way. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you want more videos of this nature, and let me know what your leap is. What is the thing that you want to do? What is it, and what is the first action you're going to take in order to make that happen? Let me know down below. Tap into your potential a little bit more each day, and I'll see you in the next video.